welcome again to our YouTube channel. Happy New Month, everybody, and also want to welcome you to the second half of the year. Okay, it's been a wonderful and amazing time, and I know we missed you, and you guys miss us too. Okay, so today, being the second half of the year, and also being the first Sunday in the second half of the year, we just want to use some time to reflect on what things that God has done, and of course it's a culture in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and most churches, like every first Sunday of the month, people gets to come out to give testimony and all that. So today we'll be talking about testimony. I mean, we know about different testimony in the Bible. All right, let's take for example where the woman with the issue of blood for 12 months, was it 12 months or 12 years? Okay, so and she got healed. Imagine somebody menstruating for like that period of time, and the person got healed like instantly. I mean, it's so unbelievable. And of course, the part where Jesus Christ fed 5,000 people, and then they only count males. And in every congregation, if there are 5,000 men, so that means like there will be like 15,000 women. Okay, so like we are looking about roughly about 20,000 people, including children. You understand now? Yeah. But funny enough, as we Nigerians, we always emphasize on the fact that Jesus fed because we too like food. Now we don't think about Jesus talking about that number of multitude without using the mic. Exactly. So now, today, we just want to reflect on one of the mind-blowing testimony you've heard. Okay, it might be your own, it might be maybe you just heard about something God did for somebody. So, and we just have a conversation around that. So, ladies first in there. So, let me allow you to introduce yourself. Okay, so I go first. My name is Ayobami Johnson. All right, thank you very much. And I have here with me.
My name is Oladiji.
Mrs. Okay. All right.
My name is Treasure Oladuni.
All right, Mr. Okay, so Aramide, let's start with you.
Man, when we talk about testimony, it can be even the tiniest thing that happen, and there are just a lot of things. In fact, I've been trying to think which one do I even want to talk about. Yeah. But then I think I'll just talk about. Okay, I'll talk about my work. Anyway, so when I finished school, then I was just at home. I was like, okay, I had some issues in school, blah blah blah. So I was trying to adjust there. I decided to learn digital marketing and all. So before service rather, I was just I was wondering, okay, what do I do? I studied chemistry. Should I look for something in the line of chemistry, or should I go with this digital marketing? Yes, or go in line with this digital marketing thing. Then I got an opportunity to intern in a company, and that company they said, oh, as a copper, because I was about going for my 3 weeks campaign. Yeah, so as a copper, you're going to get 20K. I was like, 20K only. Even as I then, 20K was. I was like, anyway, we'll manage. Yeah. Then I went for camp. I came back, decided to go for the job. I calculated it that when I do 1 month like this, if I see that they want to kill me, I'll just pack my hood and sit down. Then I went for it, 20K job. After a year, they retained me. Like my retainment served in that company, I already knew from like the first 2 months that I was just from the share banker. Yeah. Then they retained me. I was getting times 20K, maybe times 5 at the first payment. I was like, not bad. Yeah. Within the first 6 months, they said that there's going to be increase, blah blah blah. Yeah. They doubled the amount, right? Now, in the space of 3 years, now I was just thinking back. So they still increased our money last month. Then I was like, wait, though. I started this job with just 20K. In fact, I didn't want to go for it. I was just like, God has a plan. That let me just go and test for 1 month. Anything that will happen. And now, in the space of 3 years, they've increased our money like 2 times. Like I said, the first payment 20K. You can do your calculations times like double. Not double, times 5. 20 times 5.
Yeah.
Shame with my son nonsense. 20 times 5 is what?
That's 100,000.
That's 100. Thank you. That's in the first year, right?
Mhm.
Then second year there was increase. Third year
Yeah.
there was another increase. And you know
Yeah.
when you're talking about increase, it's
Yeah,
not
of course.
20%
Of
increase.
course.
You
Mhm.
get so more like God, how? In fact, let me bust your brain so that you will understand the point of this testimony.
Okay.
After school, my final year, so I had an FNG, right? I didn't have carryover,
Okay.
100 revenue. I didn't have carryover, 200 revenue. I didn't
Yeah.
have carryover, 300. I had carryover in my final year.
Wow.
Nothing could be done. Which means like I had
You're supposed to have an
spent
extra
an extra year. Yeah, I did the extra year. And in the extra year, I had 2 courses. I was like, okay, that was when I rent Luther Market. So it's not even like I've been renting anything Luther Market. I rent it in my final year. So it was not like final year. My mates were already doing youth. They were already serving and everything. So I was just like,
You felt like a setback for you.
Yes, so, but I decided to, okay, let's see what we can bring out of this final year. Then I rent social media marketing and everything I needed to do. I went for the corporate job, like intern 20K. And now
I mean, it does become something.
I feel like that's a very good testimony for
Oh, wow.
them.
Wow. Nice.
Let's go for that.
I mean, right?
This
My brother.
Yeah, so treasure. Alright.
Okay, so thinking about testimony, right? I'll say that like diverse testimonies that are peculiar to different people, right? So I'll just take some that was recorded in Bible, and I'll talk about my own personally. So briefly, just about the ones that were recorded in the Bible, and I'll also talk about the greatest testimony of all time. Yeah. So the one that was recorded in the Bible, you can talk about Daniel in the lion's den. Like talk about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
Oh yeah.
We can also talk about the woman with the issue of blood. You can also talk about Joseph too, because Joseph went too from the pit to prison, and how he became the prime minister. So, but the greatest testimony of all time, which has brought about our salvation to this moment, is the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other testimony
No.
that can actually beat that. Even Satan could not hold him down in the grave.
Yeah.
And I even heard that, when they got to the tomb, like Jesus' clothes was neatly folded. So many people like saying you rush come out.
Intentional, yes.
Like
Every step
like,
was intentional.
it was intentional.
Every statement he made on the cross was intentional.
Yeah.
That this popular joke that they said when they argue Jesus Christ, that the devil, the thief at the side was now when Jesus was not trying to say that Eli, Almighty today, that's it, left for the Bible to say. I don't know it too, but basically, that's the greatest testimony which has brought about our salvation, which has brought about our faith in Jesus Christ this present moment. So I would like to also use this medium to talk to people that have not given their life to Christ. You can just go back and have a reflect on how you can just imagine how is it possible for someone to die and come back, and he intentionally said it that in 3 days time I'm coming back. Yes, he said it, and people saw him as he resurrected. So you can take a moment and reflect back on how you do things and give your life to Christ this present moment, and just thank God for everything. So moving down to, let me not make it as if it's too serious.
Okay.
So moving down.
I mean, I was thinking maybe he hallelujah pastor.
Not pastor. So moving down to my own personal life.
Yeah.
Hey, testimony. I'm a bond of testimony because I started from engineering background and I'm into tech.
Here we are.
How is it possible? I don't know. But I just knew that one thing that always motivated me was hunger. At that time, the fear of always being broke, right? So it has given me this passion and this drive, and which has resulted to so many testimonies, so many achievements that I couldn't believe that I could have achieved in a short time. Trust me, it was in a short time.
Yeah.
Even when my friends found it difficult to do some certain things, I don't know, I was just flowing with ease. I would just say one of the testimony I think I take very precious, right, was because I was at the moment where I had to resign from most of my job, right, when I was doing design, immediately I finished school, because I studied chemical engineering, oil. There is no oil. Let me just be frank with you. There's oil, but it's oil. The oil is for those who know themselves.
Yeah.
So people like us that we know where I'm coming from, zero. So I went to design, graphic design. Basically, I had to quit my job and just to run it up. Within a short time where I had to like transition from graphic designing to product designing, it took me a whole lot because I had to quit my job that was paying me like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to like go into product designing. Then I even borrowed loan. That's
Yeah.
just I borrowed loan to even like pay up to train
Mm-hmm.
and just I was earning 60k. They paid me 60k at that time, and I had things to bills to
Of
pay.
course.
As a single man in this bachelor era, I had a lot of things to
As
pay.
a single man with like
Yes.
15 girlfriends.
Yes. No, you can't say that here. Cuts, you can't say that. Yes. But moving on.
Alright.
Sha, 60k. That's 60k. Very important. If I miss it in a month or more, you have to change me. But basically, I had to like put my head down and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Like I had to study a lot because I know where I'm coming from and I know where I was going to. And after like 2 months after I finished my training, like other people, I can say till now, other people still find it difficult to get jobs and all that, right? It's not that I'm trying to push, I'm trying to say that, or I'm trying to push them aside or something. I'm not trying to say anything negative, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to talk about my own testimony, basically, yeah, how God helped me. And I don't know how I did it, but within 2 months, I got my first job. And because before then, I was saying that I want to get an international job. That should be my first job.
Mm-hmm.
But the first job I got was an international job. Yes, international job with Nigerian mindset. That. Yes. So
Sure, you don't want us to blame you.
yes. So that's it with Nigerian mindset, so that you will know.
So
that
there is international
that
job,
job.
they are still paying you in naira.
No, they pay me in dollars. But international job with Nigerian mindset. That is the person that is behind it also has a Nigerian mindset.
Oh,
So,
okay, I get it. I get it.
But I thank God for that actually. So moving on, things were not difficult. Like from there, I got other gigs. From there, I got other gigs, and presently, I'm still gigging. Then people say that gigging, take note.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, that was like one of the best testimony I got as at last year till this present moment, and I've always been grateful for the move that I made to transition from graphic design to product design within that short time without minding how much I was collecting. So basically, it's not about your present state. It's about your passion. Like, know who you are, about your passion and all that. So, and God will help you basically. Yeah.
Nice.
So I thank God for that.
Wow. All right. I mean, you heard it. Those are like mind-blowing testimony. I mean, it's really mind-blowing. These are like personal experience. All right. And you know, of course, I've had a lot of testimonies myself. I mean, you know, in my line of work, I've been able to, you know, experience quite a number of things. You know, medical field, you hear stuff, you see stuff, and you know, I've seen situations whereby, you know, people organs that are damaged are being replaced. So apparently, I have a friend who is also who is a surgeon, yeah. And you know, there was this thing we were just talking, because he doesn't really go to church. He doesn't go to church, or you know all those stuff and all that. And he was not saying, okay, so if somebody's womb got damaged, you know how, you know, like it doesn't make sense. You know, like, you know, somebody is hearing that, okay, somebody's womb got damaged, and you know they go for a test again, they saw another womb there. Like, what is going on? It was like, how is this happening? I said, see, look, for every manufacturer that manufactures stuff, for every manufacturer will never have a spare parts. You understand now? Always have a spare part. I said, look, if your car breaks down now, if you call Toyota dealer and you tell them, they will only ask you what is the VIN number of the car. You understand? Once they give them the VIN number, they just want to ask you, what part do you need? They will give you a part specifically for that your car, not all Toyota, for that your own. Go. They will give you a price. Say, look, God that manufactured us, He also has spare parts. So I mean, it has always been, you know, mind blowing. You know, people getting kidney replacement, not kidney transplant, but kidney replacement, like organically, like another kidney just grew out of nowhere. You understand that? So it's, those testimonies, when I hear those testimonies, it's always like, mind blowing for me. And we always thank God for that. So so that's it. We also want to hear from you guys out there. What has been, one mind-blowing testimony you've heard from, you've heard. If you want to share your own personal experience about your own testimony, or one testimony you heard and you really, really find it hard to believe. Not that you didn't believe it, but it was like you think about. I mean, you thought about it, like, can this really happen? We also want to hear your own view. Please, can you just drop your comment below, and also want to share this video, and also like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So guys, thank you for coming on to the show. All right, I really appreciate you guys. I know Aramide is part of the team. She's actually the director. All right, so we have to drag her into the scene today.
Are you sure you're not working for TG already?
I mean, so Treasure, even though at first we were like, I'm shy, but
I'm very shy. Me and camera, we don't.
But here we are. Thank you for doing this. As you can see, it was fun at the end of the day.
It's always fun. It's always fun with me. Don't
you
worry.
Want to do this again? You want to do this again?
I can't promise, but it's always fun with me.
All right. So thank you guys. It's going to be a wrap for this month edition of our YouTube. Catch us again next month, as we are going to be bringing you some lively and educated content. And we will thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate you. Thank you. See you next month.
Bye.
Bye.